Shalom once again, fam. I'm coming back at you again, and I really want to express my disgust with the actions of so-called African Americans on Martin Luther King Day, the violence, the hate among one another that we displayed throughout the world. And once again, I have to use this person as an example because I watch her videos sometime. And like Cynthia G was saying, that the hate is real, and the hate manifests, and we self-hate one another. We really do. That's why we choose to side with our oppressor and even have families with the people who are systematically destroying us. But to also give responsibility where responsibility is due, we are part of that problem. We cannot even occupy the same place without a fight breaking out or a gun shootout or tearing up some place or just mass ratchetness and pussy popping and all this madness that's going on. But then when I make videos about lifting up so-called black people and lifting up the minorities, the minority population in the United States, and even broader out than that, because we're spread out on the four corners of the earth, I catch nothing but hell, and most of the hell that I catch is from the black woman. And not to get into this, because I promote togetherness, I promote we need to procreate with one another. Because we're a special seed, a chosen seed of the Most High. Even though a lot of us won't acknowledge that, we want to run after every wind of doctrine and every philosophy that is out there, anything to run away from and escape the responsibility of being the Lord's chosen. We are the leaders of the earth. The earth is waiting on us to get our act together so it can be restored and healed by the Most High. But we want to sit here in Babylon and be pimps and harlots and get into every form of debauchery known to mind. So I'm going to read this article just to show you the despicable display and character that we showed to the whole world. There's no way anybody is going to take us seriously as a nation, the chosen people of the Most High, Yahweh. There's no way anybody's going to take us serious with doing stuff like this on a daily and a weekly basis. In season, out of season, we're killing one another, destroying one another. But when it comes to the other nations, we want to treat them like royalty. And they're the ones huddled together in the United Nation building, conspiring on how to destroy you. But for most of you that are going to listen to this video, it's too much meat for you to handle. You can't handle that type of truth. It's too much for you. You want to regress just to being a nigga. You get scared, you don't want to handle anything, so you just run down into the muck and the mire that you're used to. So as I begin on, I'm going to go ahead and read this article to show you the madness that we displayed, which was supposed to be a peaceful day of a man who preached peace. Now, I don't agree with everything that he said. I don't agree with being a punching bag and segregating with our enemy. And Martin Luther King understood that towards the end of his life. He changed big time towards the end. He knew this is not going to work. But to get on with the article, Chicago CBS, at least 39 people have been shot across Chicago over the Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday weekend, leaving 10 people dead. The latest killing happened at 11:36 a.m. Monday in the West Side Austin neighborhood, where a vehicle pulled up to a 24-year-old Alante Elmore on a porch near his home in the 4800 block of West Hubbard. Shot him repeatedly, according to the Chicago police and the Cook County Medical Examiner's office. He was taken to Stroger hospital where he had died. About 11:10 a.m., 36-year-old Marlon Pollard was standing outside in the 2200 block of West Chicago in the Ukrainian Village neighborhood where someone in a black SUV opened fire, striking him in the abdomen, face, and the left leg. The Evanston resident died in less than an hour at Stroger, authorities said. Early Sunday on the near west side, officers responded to a call of a person down at about 5:30 a.m. in the 2600 block of West Van Buren and found a man in his 30s or 40s dead at the scene with a gunshot wound to the head, according to authorities, who were still working to identify him. About 1:15 a.m., a 34-year-old man was gunned down in the Lawndale neighborhood on the west side. He got into an argument with someone who shot him in the chest in the 4700 block of West Polk, police said. He died at Mount Sinai Hospital, authorities. His name has been released. His name has not been released, excuse me. Saturday night, a 26-year-old man was killed in an Austin drive-by shooting. He was outside in the 5500 block of West Rice about 7 p.m. when a vehicle drove by and someone shot him multiple times. The man, who has not been identified, was taken to Mount Sinai where he was pronounced dead, authorities said. 2 hours before that, an 18-year-old man was gunned down in another Austin attack. A dark-colored car pulled up to the 18-year-old Christopher Johnson Jr. about 5 p.m. in the 400 block of South Central Avenue, and someone inside shot him twice in the abdomen. Authorities said Johnson of the 7300 block of South Michigan died at Mount Sinai at 1:35 p.m. Now, I don't mean to stop, and like I said, I could be wrong, but I really believe a lot of what some of these brothers are saying about some of these government or police shootings may even be happening, because why does it keep hearing these dark cars? I mean, everybody don't have black vehicles. So, I don't want to throw it into that's this is for another time, but it does sound kind of suspicious to me, some of these shootings, because all of a sudden these dark cars come out of nowhere. Now, we both know that there's confrontations that go on between gangs and stuff, and fighting over drug territory and stuff like that. That stuff is a normal part of gang activity. It's the way to make money. It's a fast and hustle. It all depends on how much money you have and stuff, what you're able, how much weight you're willing to buy and get out there. But these murders seem kind of funny to me, how it's a dark vehicle all the time coming out of nowhere and just busting shots. Because everybody don't have black vehicles once again. But I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the article. 2 men ages 27 and 39 were standing in the street at 8:05 a.m. Saturday in the 1100 block of South Frisco in Lawndale, where someone got out of a black car. See, there it goes again. A black car, and fired multiple shots, police said. They were taken to Mount Sinai, where the younger man died of wounds to the head and chest, authorities said. His name has not been released. The older man was in good condition with a back wound. And it just goes on and on. Another man was killed and a woman was wounded about 3:30 a.m. Saturday in the Southside Inglewood neighborhood, where at least 5 people went into a house in the 6000 block of South Carpenter and shot 2 men reportedly. Tyrone Blake, 25, of 6100 block of South Indiana, was pronounced dead at the scene at 3:48 a.m., authorities said. The 26-year-old woman was taken in critical condition to Stroger Hospital. A 20-year-old man was slain shortly before 10 p.m. Friday in the Marquette Park neighborhood on the southwest side. Devontae Sprangens was driving east on 72nd Street when a white Ford Explorer pulled up to him near Washington Avenue, and someone inside the vehicle shot him in the chest, authorities said. Sprangens, who lived a block away in the 7200 block of South Tamon, was taken to Chris Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where he died at 10:22 p.m. And the list, just goes on, and it's just, not to mention the stuff that went on in Miami. the shootings that went over in Miami. It looked like the end of the world where black people were running from one another. You mean to tell me you didn't have enough, you couldn't make some phone calls and make something happen with the OGs to get them to lay their guns down just for one day? Just for one day. But let's see, the weekend's first fatal shooting happened about 4 p.m. Friday in Austin, where a 21-year-old got into an argument with somebody who opened fire in the 600 block of North Central Avenue. The man suffered multiple gun wounds and was taken to the West Suburban Medical Center in Oak Park, where he was pronounced dead at 4:18 p.m. according to authorities. He has withheld his name. Shortly after midnight Sunday in the East Garfield Park neighborhood, a Chicago police officer chased and fatally shot 34-year-old Herbert Johnson, who was armed and suspected of being involved in another shooting in the nearby 3300 block of West Monroe. Authorities said a 51-year-old woman was found with a gunshot wound to the chest, a 30-year-old man was shot in the buttocks, and a 21-year-old woman suffered a graze wound in the left leg. The Independent Police Review Authority is investigating the officer's use of force. At least 24 more people were wounded in non-fatal shootings across Chicago between 5 p.m. Friday and 10 p.m. Monday. Last year, 34 people were shot over the... See, and it just goes on and on and on. It just don't stop. And the curses are upon our people heavy. It says, a man shall look evil upon his brother, and also leave his family, leave his kids. And if that curse isn't us personified, I don't know what is. But this is why I preach what I preach to you, for the nation, to the nation of Israel, the real Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because this is the type of stuff that happens because of hate and disobedience to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. This is what happens. But just to, but you'll be the same people in the midst of this chaos in the cities that we live in. You're the same people that'll get underneath my comment board and try to knock me down because I talked about Serena Williams being with a so-called white man. And all these brothers and sisters in Hollywood that have other significant others with the outside races of our people. But when I preach this stuff, I catch nothing but hell. But as a result of that hate, this is the stuff that manifests on the street like this. Because we hate one another, this stuff happens to us. And I'm getting ready to close out with that. And with that being said, Shalom.